Hey there, in this episode we are going to hit on operator precedence. That's a fancy way of saying the order in which things are acted upon. So let's go ahead and just get started. Let's start with a print here, and let's just go ahead and say we'll print value, and then we're going to say value equals 2 plus 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We got a 4, that's what we expect. Now, what operator precedence means is there is, just like order of operations when you're doing algebraic equations or whatnot, there is an order that all operations take place in. In this case, we have 2 plus 2. Now let's go ahead and multiply that by 4. Now let's take a look at our answer. You'll see that it's 10. It's not, 16 or whatever that would be. So the idea behind this is fairly simple overall. There is rules in Python as a language. Now, most languages are very similar, but that is not guaranteed. The way it works is we have multiplication, which has a higher precedence value. It is considered more important. So this operation is completed, and then the resulting number is then added with plus 2. And that's pretty straightforward. But let's say we wanted to change that. Now, let's break this up just a little bit and say I want the 2 plus 2 to happen first. Now, it doesn't mean I have to go, first value equals 2 plus 2, and then come over here and say first value times 4, which actually would, return 16. That's what we want it to do. But that's not required. What we can do instead is we can add parentheses. Now, parentheses are, you can think of them as a separator, much as you would in your, as I said earlier, algebraic equations and whatnot. Parentheses break everything off into smaller operations. And in this case, what we're doing is we're saying 2 plus 2 needs to be evaluated separately than times 4. So then, when we run it, we'll get 16 instead of our previous answer. So let's go ahead and go back. See that 10 there. And then let's go ahead and get some complicated stuff going here. Let's go ahead and say we're going to raise that to the power of 2. We'll get 34. Now let's go ahead and do this. 64. As you can see, that's because what's happening here is the exponent operator is taking the highest priority while the parentheses are technically operated on first. So we have a 4 times 4 to the power of 2. So we have this math being done as soon as that 2 plus 2 is evaluated into a 4, and then it's in essence doing this, which would give us our 64. You can have multiples in here. We could do this, but that wouldn't actually change our value at all. But let's go ahead and do something like that. Let's do 2 plus 2, parentheses, like that. And then let's go ahead and put these parentheses back on our 2 plus 2. Make it look cute like that. Boom. 1024. Exactly as we expected. So what is the actual order? How does this work? Well, you can go find a list online. You can go look for order precedence rules in Python and get it. But the rough of it is everything in parentheses is executed first. Then exponents are calculated. Then you have your unary plus, minus, and bitwise not, more complex mathematics. Then your multiplication, division, and modulus. And I believe floor division is in there as well. And floor division is actually something that I have not directly commented on in the past, but floor division is really interesting. I'll just do that real quick. We can say 4 divided by 2. Let's say value equals, and you'll see that that's 2. If we use 2 slashes, That's what's known as floor division. It basically returns a whole number and ensures that it is the actual value. Because if we did something crazy like 91 and I don't know 8, no, let's just do just 6. You'll see that it's 15.166666. But if we make this floor division, it's just 15. Makes it really easy and simple to work with. You don't have to use the floor operators on your own. It's just part of the operation through the language itself. Just another one of those cool shortcuts. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Let's just go ahead and say it's going to be parentheses followed by this, followed by our unary operations, followed by our multiplication, division, floor division, and modulus. Oh, that is the wrong symbol. Then it's going to be our addition and subtraction. Then it will be our bitwise operators. And then it's going to be followed by any other kind of logic, like bit operators, bit, and what is it, XOR, and then bitwise OR, followed by our usual comparisons. So comparison, not compared, greater than, less than, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go through all those. And then your logical not and or ors. So pretty straightforward, honestly. And that's our operator Precedence. I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them. Just leave a comment, like, whatever. And thank you for watching.